talking about the real estate market. What is going to happen in 2023 is the question. Hey friends, it's Sean the Agent here, where I am a realtor, investor, and pastor committed to giving you value, specifically today, talking about the real estate market. What is going to happen in 2023 is the question. Now, before further ado, please make sure you like and subscribe to this video so that you can continue to be notified when we put out amazing information like today. Now let's talk about two perspectives. There's the mainstream perspective and there's the local perspective to the Northern Virginia real estate market. So the mainstream perspective, what's going on in 2023? National Association of Realtors, they believe that home values will be unchanged throughout the year. That means 0% appreciation. Now, friends, this is the law of averages, right? That means some areas may decline, some areas may incline in values, but ultimately they believe nationally it will equal out. They also believe that mortgage rates will continue to decline, likely settling around 5.7% by the end of the year. Overall, pretty positive news, right? Realtor.com, they say that prices will increase by 5.4% by the end of the year, being driven specifically by low inventory. Now, they also say that buyers will have more time to make decisions and more options. Now, doesn't that sound a little counterintuitive at first, right? They say prices go up because of low inventory, but then they say there's going to be more options for buyers. How do we think about that? Well, honestly, guys, I think they're right. Inventory is so low, it can still go up and it will continue to be low. So I think both of those statements are right. Zillow believes prices will decline slightly throughout the year. They also believe that the vacation destinations will take some of the larger hit. Now, a lot of people believe in 2023 that conditions will favor the buyer, okay? Zillow has stated that. They believe conditions may favor the buyer. Now, that's a pendulum swing mentality perspective, thinking that if it's gonna be helping the sellers, it's gotta then turn to help the buyers. And what they're not thinking about is something that's called the neutral market. And that's something that we'll talk about a little bit later today. Now, Homes LLC states appreciation will go up 4%. CoreLogic states that their forecast is that prices will rise 2.8% through November of 22 to November of 23. Now, be careful with what CoreLogic states, is because last month they said it would increase 4.1% through October. They often change what they say. And then you have the guy on the episode artwork that you saw that believes it's 50% decline. Guys, just don't believe that guy. Don't believe that guy. So what now does the local expert say? We have mainstream media, but what does the local expert say? Well, friends, I'll tell you what he says because I am he. All right. Now, all these national takes on the market you read are actually very helpful to point you in the right direction. Now, if you ask me where Virginia Beach is and I point that way, that is helpful to a degree, right? I'm not lying to you. I am telling you the basic direction. But the reality is you're probably not going to know how to get there, right, from Northern Virginia, if you've never been. That just pointing in the right direction is not helpful. You need more advice. You need boots on ground knowledge to be able to tell you what streets to go on and how to get to your destination. So that is what we are doing today, to now talk about a local real estate agent's perspective on the local market. So let's talk about a few things. One, I want you to be aware of something. You will hear people saying, fastest price drop since 2012, market has declined 20%, year over year we're down 8%. You're going to hear all of this stuff, but here's my pro tip. Please listen to this. selling and buying homes in 2023 is going to be different than the last 2 years. Yes, but you cannot compare the last 2 years with today and future forecasts, as if that is going to be a determiner for future trajectory, because these last 2 years we were in were completely unprecedented. 2020 homes appreciated 8.5%. 2021 they appreciated 13%. Rates were so low, the best limbo athletes could literally not compete. All right, that was a joke if you got that. All right. We literally saw a unicorn these last 2 years. And honestly, my daughter loves unicorns. But if I go to a pet store and I start looking for a unicorn, I'm going to be disappointed, right? They're not there. But here's the reality. If I want to get my daughter a pet, then go in and don't be disappointed that I don't find a unicorn, but be super excited about the cute, adorable puppy that we find to buy, right? So the last 2 years was a once-in-a-lifetime reality. Forget about it. Media will talk doom and gloom because the data that they are talking about is usually comparing year-over-year information. So if you're always comparing within the last 2 years, it's going to look bleak, but it's not that bleak. What I encourage you to do is to compare today's market to 2019. That is wisdom, right? When you take what happened in 2019, where are we today, and what does that mean? That is going to give you important, helpful information to be able to make wise decisions to know where the market is going. Guys, I believe we are on a up and good path. Let's talk about values. Now, value increases. What's going to determine value increases? Are homes going to appreciate in 2023? Well, that has to do with supply and demand. Friend, supply and demand always dictates the prices, all right? You think rates do, they don't. Supply and demand does. I believe values are going up because inventory is remaining low. Now, remember, if you compare stats to the last 2 years, you're the unsmart crew, so don't. All right, hyper local look here in Northern Virginia area. Look at this. I did this research this morning and just looked at these numbers. Specifically in Stafford County, Spotsylvania, and Fredericksburg, we had 5,433 homes sold in 2019. That's 452 homes a month. Now, right now, we have 484 active homes on the market. Did you hear that? Put that into perspective. That is 1 month of inventory, y'all. If we can compare 2019, if the same amount of homes sell, which we're actually going to be tracking, maybe even a little bit more, that means if every single home sold, we have 1 month of inventory and then there'd be zero. Now, guys, this is called a seller's market. A seller's market is anything between 1 to 3 months of inventory, right? A buyer's market is anything that's 6 months or more of inventory, and then a neutral market is right in between. Now, I think inventory is honestly so low right now because of a couple factors. One, the last 2 years stole future sales, meaning people that weren't gonna sell, that might have sold maybe this year or next year, upgraded their timeline and they ended up selling earlier. So that's one factor. The second factor now is that some sellers are just gonna get kind of comfy with their interest rates, all right? They like sitting on their 2% and they don't really wanna get into the market quite yet. So it's just gonna have low inventory. But here's the reality, guys. Demand is still high, right? Interesting perspective. One of my trusted lenders says that he usually has between 30 to 35 pre-approved buyers in his system that he is working every month. Right now, he has 135. Y'all, buyers are ready. They're just a bit more picky, right? Which I think is okay. It's okay. But there are buyers wanting to buy, and they are, honestly, some of them are just waiting the market a little bit to see what happens with the rates. But it's not that there's not a demand. There is a demand. Now, we are also seeing the market correct itself back to sustainable days on market, which means homes are going to take about 45 days to sell versus your 5 minutes that you saw in the last couple of years. All right. Now, you're going to see some homes stay on the market longer because one, Well, the market has changed. 45 days is not a long time. That's going to be somewhat standard. But you're going to see some that actually stay on the market longer because they are overpricing, right? They're trying to get the pandemic prices and then just haven't gotten the reality check that we might not be getting that anymore. All right, so they're going to sit on the market a little bit longer. So don't be that guy. All right, don't be that guy. All in all, inventory is remaining very low, but getting a little bit better. Now, some still say, Sean, I saw what happened in 2008. I saw prices drop. Well, they did. And listen up. In 2008, there were more homes being built than there were families buying. Hear that? There were more homes being built, more supply than there was demand. Today is a different story. Guys, you know we have 354 million people living in our country? 132 million household units? You know how many homes are on the market? 753,000. That's it. Guys, we have more people needing homes, and inventory is half of what it was in 2008. Supply and demand is a big reality right now. Now, if you're thinking, Sean, you're crazy, we are in a recession, prices will go down. Actually, out of the last 6 recessions we've had as a country, 4 of them, homes actually increased in value between 3.5% to 6.6%. So be careful who you're calling crazy. All right. Well, what about rents? You know, people sometimes don't talk about that. What's going on? Are they going up? Are they going down? Because obviously they went up a lot. Well, honestly, I think the biggest concern is rates, as you observe that. If rates continue to go up substantially, that's going to weaken our GDP, right? Our consumer spending is going to go down, which will then affect our unemployment. If there's more layoffs, well, what's going to happen? Landlords are going to need to hold on to their tenants longer. They're going to need to lower their potential rates to attract new clientele. I don't think that's what we're going to see here in Northern Virginia. I don't think that's the trajectory. While all of that matters and is important to know, inventory is still going to remain the main driving factor, and inventory is low. So I believe rents will flatline throughout the year. Now let's talk about rates. Now here is the short story. I believe they will come down. Now, they are in the mid-6s right now, and here's what's happening. When inflation goes up, rates go up. We just saw that, right? When inflation goes down, rates go down. Now, I think Feds are going to lower their base rate in February as they see inflation tracking in a healthy direction and unemployment staying stable. Now, if so, we will start seeing rates in the 5% actually as early as the second quarter, and maybe even another drop at the end of summer. Now, that's what I believe. Though, we have to watch the economy, y'all, right? Now, when I say watch the economy, that means 4 things. Unemployment. We want unemployment to be around 6% or less. We have to look at GDP. We want that to be around 2%. Inflation, right? We want that to be around 2%. We know it's been 7 to 8, but we see the curve, we see the trajectory of where it's going. Home values, we want to consistently see 4% appreciation. Obviously, we saw something crazy, but we want to still see that if possible. So, the real question as you look at those 4 aspects of the economy is, where is it now? And where is the direction going is the question. Right now, I think it's slowly going in the right direction. So, for that, I believe we're actually going to see some great strides in 2023. Now, here is a fast summary. 1, there is going to be fewer homes that sell this year than you're used to. That's just a reality. But honestly, if you're a consumer, that's not going to affect you very much, okay? If you're a real estate professional, honestly, that's going to affect the profession, the industry, right? It's projected that 20% of real estate agents are going to get out of the business. That's all right, The professionals and those that know what they're going to do are going to stay, so you're in good hands. And I think for the second, you're going to see modest appreciation between 3 to 4%. Guys, I'm still buying homes today, all right? I believe in this. I'm not telling you something that I'm not doing. I really think we're going to still see a good appreciation. Days on market is going to be around 45 days. It's going to feel totally different. different. And that's okay, but that's totally normal, right? When you're looking back at 2018 and 2019. Third, I think you're going to see list to close prices are going to go back to 97.5% instead of like 189%, okay? So what that means is when you sell a home, the market may give you about 2.5% lower than the list price, or you may have to give about 2.5% towards closing costs to a buyer. Overall, that's okay. So guys, this is, I believe, going to be a normalized market. 2019 was a great market to buy and sell in, to run a business in. 2023 is going to be as well. I hope this is helpful for you. I am talked about as being the guy who sees rainbows all the time. I don't believe I'm being overly optimistic. Let's watch, let's consider, let's be smart. Looking forward to 2023.